and you broke your sound.
Welcome back to Vandy Podcast. I'm Coltrane, also known as Choo Choo.
And I'm Camden, also known as Commander. This is episode 3. So, Cole, heard you got your stickers for your micro for the Toll Shootout.
Yes, I'm actually pretty psyched about those. The stickers are actually like the coolest stickers I've ever seen. Thank you, 5-star design or custom designs, and they are the coolest stickers you'll ever see on a micro sprint. I'm just telling you.
So who are all your sponsors?
I want to thank Full Tilt Racing and Fabrication, Trenka Industries, Genevieve Physical Therapy, 5-Star Custom Designs, 316 Strategy Group, Barrett Clinic, Papio Pit Barbecue, Chicken Bone Alley, Driven is what my car is, but kind of chassis it is, and Randy Vanderheiden Trucking, and of course, Ford Bites.
Gee, that's a lot of sponsors.
Yeah, it's actually a lot more fun when you have a lot of sponsors. Tell you that.
Yeah. So, when are you? How long is the Toll Shootout, and what day are you leaving?
We are actually leaving. I think we are leaving Sunday, the weekend, 2 days after Christmas, and it goes from Monday. The pits open Monday, and the championship is on Saturday, I believe, or Friday. And yeah, it's gonna be a really fun week, and hopefully we learn a lot and have a lot of fun.
Yeah. So, how many days do you race out of those 6 days?
So I'm pretty sure we will race our practice will be on Tuesday, and then my heat race will be on Wednesday, and then the qualifier for the feature, if I do good enough in the heat race, I will race Thursday. Or no, it's either Thursday or Friday, but and then if I don't do good in my heat, then I'll go to one of the B's on Friday, and it'll be the last chance qualifier to make it in the A, and then the A feature will be on Saturday, I believe.
Yeah. So, is your goal just to get an A?
Yep, that's my goal, and hopefully we get a couple spots into the A, and that's my goal.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll catch you here in a second with Stu Snyder from Stu Snyder Motorsports.
Yep, SLS Motorsports. So yeah, welcome back to Vandy Podcast. I'm Coltrane, also known as Choo Choo, and the commander wasn't able to make it to this podcast today, so it's just gonna be me and Stu. Stu, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right, bud. How about yourself?
I'm not doing too bad. Pretty good day on new and I racing.
Oh yeah. I was at work
Yeah.
doing that adulting stuff. You'll learn about that soon, bud.
Yeah, I know. So I guess we should get started. So how has your season been? I know I saw a lot. You got a lot of wins this season, but how have a couple other things been, and how's your season gone?
Oh no, it was really good. It was probably one of the best years we've had since we won the Eagle Points title back in 2011 with the 360 series, or the 360 car, I guess. This year was probably the best year since then that we've had. I mean, we've picked up some wins here and there every year, pretty much, but this year was one of those years where it was really nice to be able to show up to the track and know, 90% that we had a shot to win the deal, and for sure we're going to end up in the top 3. And it was just a good season all around for the KRL team and the SLS Motorsports team, and just a good year. A lot of wins, a lot of top 5s, a lot of podium finishes. I think we only finished out of the top 10 one time all season, so it was good. It was a lot of fun, a lot of miles, but looking forward to trying, tear stuff down in the wintertime and rebuild, and hopefully we can go back at it with the same results.
Yeah, it's always good going into the races, like going into what you're doing positive and not down, thinking you're not going to win.
Yeah, for sure. always nice to show up and know you got a shot to win.
Yeah. So I also saw on your Facebook page that you're doing another waffle, or you're redoing it since you only had like 100 and something entries.
Well, yeah, we waffled off the first fire suit for the children's toy drive or family toy drive that we kind of got teamed up with Robin LePage on, and kind of to donate some stuff to some families that aren't able to give their children a decent or a good Christmas. Just families that are going through some tough times. So I kind of come up with this idea, and of course, every time I come up with an idea, my lovely wife has to do all the hard work to get it done. But we raffled the first suit off, and we was able to raise about $550 off of that. So we went ahead and we were able to buy every child a gift that they wanted off of their Christmas list of every family. And then we were able to add a little bit extra to some of the parents and whatnot. And then tomorrow we're going to finish off the other 2 fire suits that we have up for waffle too. And then, finish up the rest of the Christmas shopping tomorrow night. We should be able to give each kid a couple gifts, and then we're also going to do some gift cards for the parents, just because that's probably a little bit easier. They can go get what they need, whether it's a pair of jeans or a coat or food, whichever. We figured a gift card for the adults would be a little bit better than getting a gift from us when we really don't know what they want or what they need. So just kind of had an idea to get rid of some old fire suits that I had hanging around, and it kind of worked out to where we could give these people a good Christmas.
Yeah, it's always good to give people what give to people that are in need and stuff. You can.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I know you racing 365, but do you plan to race 410s anytime soon, or?
Well, we did it once last year. I ended up renting an engine, thankfully, from Matt Jewell out of South Dakota. We ended up renting a motor from him, and we didn't really have the success that I've had like I have in recent years with the 410 stuff. 2015 was the last hurrah we kind of had trying to run the 410s on a weekly touring series, and we ended up hurting the motor, so we kind of just set that deal out, or the rest of the year out. But there's still some open opportunities to where I'll probably have the opportunity to rent that motor again, or see what kind of happens down the road. I mean, we didn't really set the world on fire to try and get me an outlaw ride there last year at I-80, but just some things that we probably should have looked at and looked over and changed, and tried some different setups on the car to try and get me a little bit more comfortable with what we had going on. But I'm always up for doing 410 stuff. It's a lot of fun. Everything happens a little bit faster than what it normally does. But I can tell you, after doing it last year, I was pretty dejected in myself and in our team. And, that was the worst I've ever finished with the Outlaws. I mean, we didn't even make the race. And every other time I've ran with the Outlaws, we've made the show and ran in the top 15. So that definitely wasn't one of our better showings. But, man, I'd really love to be able to do it, if not on a weekly basis, to be able to do it on a, once a month or something like that for somebody would be really awesome.
Yeah. So, what are your plans for next year? I heard that you just said that you would love to do it, but you probably don't have the time. Maybe I don't really know. But what are your plans for next year?
I think we're gonna probably try and do the same thing we did this year. We hit the road pretty early this year with the COVID that was going on, and we were able to win the season opener at Eagle. And then, we're leading the points, and we decided, no, it's not really what we're going to do this year. So we gave that up, and we went down the highway and ran a bunch of different racetracks, ran with some great series, won a bunch of different races at different places, and just had fun. Didn't have that stress of trying to run for weekly points somewhere. And the end of the year kind of got a little bit stressful because we kind of got locked into the national 305 points, and we didn't get to run the 360 as much. But we were having so much success in the 305, it'd kind of be stupid to park the 305 to go run the 360 somewhere. So, that's probably what we'll end up doing this year. Travel just like we did last year. Run the 305 as many times as we can, and run the 360 as much as we can. Try and mix up the schedules a little bit to where we're able to maybe possibly make another run for national points. This year we ended up second. Yeah, I don't really know if there was much more we could have done better than the kid in Pennsylvania. He seemed like with the group of guys he was racing with, it didn't really matter where he started. He ended up winning. Anytime you can win 9 or 10 races a year, that's a pretty solid year. But then to still get beat in national points, it's kind of a tough deal, I guess. But no, we'll probably just do the same thing. Just hit the road and go race where we want to race when we want to race. Like I said, it was a lot less stress. It was a lot more fun, and being able to show up at the places that we all went this year, everywhere we showed up, we still knew that we had a shot to win the thing. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So I saw that you went to a bunch of different tracks. Do you have a favorite track that you've been to, or you like all of them?
There's always going to be that spot for Eagle. It's always been a fun track, and it's where I cut my teeth. And we've had a lot of success there. But I'd say if I had one of my favorites from this year, I'll put it into two categories, which may not answer your question to the fullest, but Denison's probably one of my bigger track favorites, probably because we ran really well over there every time we went over there. Denison's just a really fast, bigger track that they reshaped a couple of years ago, and it made it a lot more racier, but yet you're still going as fast as you could possibly go. Another big racetrack that would probably be at the top, I guess, of my list would be Belleville. I grew up there. I've always had a special place for that in my heart, and it's great that Drew and Rick Salem and all the Fairboard guys down there are still keeping it going. We got a good deal going with the 305 Nationals down there. To kick off kind of right before the Eagle Nationals, and it's just a special place for me. I've always enjoyed going there. I've ran there in a midget. I think I've pretty much ran there in anything open wheel that they've had since I got started. Down this dirt track racing road. But those are probably the top three. You had a nice little bull ring short track. Houston, South Dakota it's a little bit of a drive, but man, that place is so much fun. Just bull ring, high bank. You barely have time to tear a tear off before you got to set the thing into the corner.
Yeah. So, do you have? I just heard you raced a midget at school. How many cars? You said you raced almost. What was your almost every type of open wheel car? But so what was your favorite? What's your favorite car that you've ever raced there?
I've got to say the midget. I've ran the 410s there. We've ran 360s there. I've done the midget. I've ran the Belleville Midget Nationals twice and finished 10th both times. And I'd still have to say that a midget is the most scariest, on the edge of your seat, pucker up moment the entire race. But it's amazing and it's fun. The midget has got to be the best thing to go around Belleville.
Yeah. So I've been doing iRacing, but at the Chili Bowl, it's like the hard car to handle because it has a lot of power.
Yeah, the Chili Bowl is as hard in real life as it is on that game. Because once you mess up your rhythm on the game, you just completely ruin an entire lap.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing in real life. You have to get into a rhythm there. Get cheese. And as soon as you break that rhythm, man, it's tough to get back into it. But that's one of the biggest races in the world during the winter, and might be even one of the biggest races, that midgets have.
Yeah.
Now that Belleville's not around, and I mean everybody goes to the Chili Bowl, and I was fortunate enough to have a lot of good people behind me a few years ago, and we had a midget, and I got to run Belleville with it, and then we got to run the Chili Bowl. I think I've ran the Chili Bowl 4 times now, and I tell you, it's a lot of fun. It's definitely fun to race, but just the atmosphere of the entire week, down there, and getting to hang out with the who's who after the races, at some of the hangouts down there in Tulsa. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely something that if you're not a dirt track fan, or you've heard of it, but you're not sure if you want to go, you need to go.
Yeah.
It's definitely a blast. I don't know if I'd go this year with all the restrictions and whatnot, but hopefully next year we won't have this COVID issue, and we can all kind of get back to a normal racing life, and a normal life just in general.
Yeah, we went down there for a couple days in Chili Bowl. Pretty fun. It was,
Yeah, you guys went last year, didn't you?
yeah.
Yeah, it gets a little bit more fun and exciting when you're a little bit older, as far as just the nightlife stuff, and who you get to hang out with, and just the places that you get to go, after the expo building closes, and literally, the endless names of people that you get to hang out with and be around if you're in the right place at the right time is pretty damn amazing. I remember years ago there was a hotel down there that always had parties every night there in their bar, and by the end of the night we're all out in the lobby, and Tony Stewart's buying pizza for all of us, and Cruz Pedregon's over there, and Jason Leffler. I mean, it's just really, really cool to be able to say you've done it. It's definitely a spectacle type of race too.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to meet some of those famous people down there and around there, and it's really fun. I had a really fun time last year.
Yeah, for sure. It's one of the. I mean, yeah, we don't have anything to do in the winter, but damn, I bet if they did that race once a month, we'd all still go.
Yeah, that's fun. So before I let you go here, do you have any sponsors you like to thank, or anybody you'd like to thank?
Well, yeah, for sure. Well, of course, first we got to thank your old man for getting that Ford bike going and giving us some cool swag to wear to the races, and giving me some cool stuff to wear during the night up underneath the fire suit and on top of my head. Myers Racing Engines, they always build us a bullet to put us up front. JR1 chassis, they're the old Eagle that I used to win with back in the day, and we kind of sat down in one of them again and started winning right away. I got to thank the entire Love family. I kind of grew up with all of them and always dreamed of having the opportunity to drive for them, and they've given me an opportunity and a chance, and we've hit the ground running. Momentum Racing Suspensions, Simpson Racing Products, Sosby Motorsports out of Missouri. Mike down there, he always does help us out when we get down in his area. Laid Left Designs always keeps our cars looking sexy. Mr. Yards and More, not only do they keep my yard pretty, they keep a lot of other yards in Lincoln and surrounding areas looking good, and we appreciate that. They appreciate the help that they give us. KED Trucking came on board this year, helped us out quite a bit with our tire bill here towards the Nationals and towards the Belleville Nationals and whatnot. Hosby Power, Robin LePage, she's always helped me here in the last few years. Well, she's been a sponsor from day one, but here in the last couple of years, she stepped up pretty big and gave me an opportunity to be able to have a nice truck and trailer driving down the highway, and we've always appreciated that. I'm probably forgetting somebody, but I'm trying to watch the not lose and do a good podcast with you, bud.
Yeah. So I don't want to be too long, but that I have learned actually a lot from you, and Thank you for taking some time out of your day to talk to us about your season and whatnot. And I guess that's it.
Yeah, for sure. My door's always open. Roger always gives me a little hell about helping people, that we race with at the track. But I'm sure he wouldn't care too much by helping you out, giving you some pointers up and coming driver. And my door's always open. The only thing I ask is that you listen, or at least take it into account what I'm trying to teach and what I'm trying to tell you. And I hope that you guys, you and your dad and your guys' team can hit the ground running with this micro deal and have fun first off down there at the shootout. Kick some butt down there, and then next year hopefully you guys can do well and hit the road a little bit. I don't know what you're going to do as far as your schedule goes, but don't one advice I can give you starting out: go to as many different racetracks as you can. Because it's only going to make you better. It's not going to make you better running the same track every single weekend.
Yeah.
I'm pretty thankful that my dad did that with me when I first started driving sprint cars. I think we ran 64 races in 1 year, thanks to Kevin Halsey for driving me up and down the highway in his truck and trailer with his car, also in tow. And we were able to run pretty much, I think we ran 6 different states, and I was pretty sure I was in my fire suit more than I was in my street clothes. And I was literally on a different racetrack every other night, and it taught me a lot. So I think that's the first set of advice I could give you without, coming to the races and helping you. But that'd be what I'd tell you. Run as many different racetracks as you can, and just keep your head up. You might be fast one night, you might be slow the next. You keep your head up, keep digging, don't quit, don't get discouraged, because this sport, I won 9 races this year and we had all this success, and next year I might not win one. That's just how it goes. I mean, there was nights this year where we got frustrated when we ran third or ran second. Roger had to pull me back in and said, hey, you did well. Just because we didn't win, you still finished second or third. That's still not a bad night. We were just, thinking it was a bad night because of what we had been accomplishing. And then just surround yourself with good people. I got a hell of a crew behind me every week that help get this deal up and down the highway and get the cars ready. Promote, but at the same time, just always keep the people behind you happy and just give 110%, because that's all they ask.
Yeah. Thank you. I will definitely use all that advice, and hopefully we get somewhere big in the future. And good luck to you on the 2021 season. And
thanks,
good
bud.
luck.
You too. Thanks for having me on, and I look forward to listening to it. And call me if you ever need anything. All right, thanks, bud.
Okay, thanks. Well, I just learned a lot from Stu Snyder at SLS Motorsports. I hope he has a good season next year, and apparently the commander has came back.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
We are here with Chase Holland Motorsports.
Yep, we're just going to cut to the clip with Chase Holland, and hopefully you learn a lot from him too. And welcome back to Vandy Podcast. I'm Coltrane, also known as Choo Choo.
And I'm Camden, also known as the Commander.
Today we are here with Chase Holland from Chase Holland Racing. And Chase, how you doing?
I'm good. How are y'all doing?
I'm doing good.
Good deal.
So I guess we should get into the racing part. So how has your racing been in the modified? I saw that you got a couple wins, I think. I'm pretty sure, but
yeah, it's been pretty good to us. It's been more of a learning curve than anything, coming from go-karts going into a modified. But we're starting to get the hang of it, and we picked up 3 wins this season, and several heat race wins and multiple top 5. So it's a pretty decent season. Lots of learning going on. Lots of good people in the works.
Yeah. So, all right. What are your plans for next year?
Well, we just got a new car, so really we're starting over, kind of, sort of. We're honestly we're just going to be trying to dial in that car, and if we get it dialed in, hopefully, the goal is to win more this season than we did last season. But it's pretty much it for us. We plan on traveling a good bit. Not real sure where we're gonna go yet, but yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Like, it's better when you race at more and more tracks, so then you don't just race at one track. So like it doesn't, so you don't get so into one track. If you know what I'm saying?
Right, you get to learn more track conditions and see, different styles of racing, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I see you just got a new car, but probably a little early to ask this, but do you ever plan on like moving up to late models ever in a couple years, or do you just want to stay in modifieds?
That is honestly my ultimate goal. I've talked to my parents multiple times, and whenever I can compete and do pretty well in a super late model, that I've made it in life. That's the whole goal. That's what I've been working towards, and hopefully we can get there one day.
Yeah. So going back to like tracks and stuff, what is your favorite track?
There is. It's pretty much a bull ring compared to everything else we have down here. It's a little track called Tri-County Speedway over in trying to think what it's in Alabama. And I've only been there, I think, 5 times, but that's definitely my favorite track to race at.
Yeah, I've seen that track before, and it looks like a good track.
Yeah, it's just a little bitty elbowed up racetrack.
Yeah.
I always enjoy racing there.
Yeah. How far have you traveled to, like, the farthest track? Like, what's the farthest track you've traveled to, and how long did it take to get there?
I think the farthest we ventured out here lately has been about 3 hours. Pretty much every track around us is about 3 hours away, except for 2 of them. But we haven't really went off very far. We plan on doing that this season. So yeah.
Yeah. So I heard you talking about karts and stuff. What kind of karts did you race?
Like, I started out in a little flat kart, rookie kart, little plain 212 motor, and won 2 track championships in that. And then we moved into some champ kart racing and dabbled in that, and did pretty good. We didn't race for any points championships, but we did that, and then we took a break, and then we played in a Bandolero just for a minute, and then it was into this modified.
Those Bandoleros look fun.
Yeah, I didn't care for them. They were too tight for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like the flat cart more or the modified more? Like, which one's easier, or which one's your favorite?
To me personally, there's a lot more going on in a modified, but as crazy as it sounds, I felt like I was going a lot faster in a go-kart than I did in this modified. It seems like I have a lot more time to react and focus in this modified compared to a go-kart.
Yeah, I've only raced one time in my micro sprint, and it feels a lot more different than the flat cart and cage carts.
It seemed like you kind of slowed down. Everything's just kind of one constant flow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have you only raced flat karts and modifieds then?
Yeah, I raced a flat kart, a champ kart, a bandolero, and now this modified.
For those who don't know, what is a bandolero?
A bandolero is the term for it is a half scale stock car. It's got a lawnmower motor on it, and it's got some kind of spec body on it, and they run them on asphalt. And I don't know. It's basically a go-kart with a bigger body on it and a little bit more motor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when did you start racing? Like when did you start racing those slot carts?
I got my first kart when I was 4, and then I was my first season, whenever they actually let me race, I was gonna be 5. So that's where I got my number from. So whenever I was 5.
So, like, are you the first generation to race in your family, or who all in your family has raced?
I'm the 3rd generation racer. We've all pretty much dabbled in it. My pawpaw raced, my dad raced, my uncles raced. Pretty much all of us have a racing background, and if they weren't racers, they fabricated on race cars. So it's kind of a family tradition for us.
Yeah, it's a lot more fun when you travel with your family, and it's a really fun time when you travel with people you know and race with people you know.
Most definitely, it's more about family than anything. I get more out of it just hanging out with my family and meeting a whole bunch of other drivers and learning their techniques.
Yeah, like you said, other drivers, racing is a lot more fun when you get a lot more friends and you make friends at the racetrack, and then you travel with them all through the season and have fun time battling with them, and like me and Camden, and yeah, it's pretty fun.
Right. It
like
makes things more competitive between y'all.
Yeah. Like when I went down to Kansas City, KC Raceway, with my flat cart, it was way more fun because I actually knew people that were in that series and stuff.
I got
Yeah. So Chase, how do you what do you plan on racing any like series or anything this upcoming year, or just normal season at a couple tracks?
Well, I mean, we kind of dabble in several series. There's a UMP sanctioned series, and there's a USMTS sanctioned series. And our car is kind of middle of the road. You do a little bit to it, you can run this series, and if you do a little bit, you can run this series. So we're probably just going to bounce around and hit races in between those two series. I mean, we're going to have a normal season. We're going to run locally, but we plan on traveling a good bit too, going out of town. I would like to go to Fairbury. If we don't go anywhere else this year, that's one place that y'all will more than likely see us.
Yeah, those modified pretty hard on iRacing. I raced at Fairbury one time. I raced modifieds at Fairbury. They're kind of tough to get it turning in the corner.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing to do on iRacing, run modifieds at Fairbury.
Yeah. So what is your local track?
Well, just recently, like, they had 3 races this year. They just got it finished. There's a track 20 minutes away from us. It's called Outlaw Speedway. It's in Perkinston, Mississippi. And that's the most local track. And before that, there was a racetrack in Hattiesburg Speedway, and it's about 45 minutes away. So that was kind of my home track, but we drifted across. We didn't run any one track consistently.
Yeah. Cole, do you have any other questions for him?
Actually, yeah, but so do you have any sponsors or any people you'd like to thank, or?
Man, I'll be honest with you, we'd be here all night. I've got a lot of great people helping me and a lot of people that have stepped in to help us. But to name a few, I've got my parents with, they're our family business, House of Tux, Bridal and Formal Boutique. West Trucking, Mr. Eddie Smith. He's out of Missouri. He found us on YouTube and messaged us and told us he wanted to be a part of what we had. and now he's been a really big help to us, and he's family now. He's a great guy. Headliners Plus, that's my Uncle Brian. He's stepped in and helped us a good bit. I've got Temco Heating and Air. They're pretty local and they help us out. Squires Formal Wear, they are a tuxedo company that my parents order from. They stepped in to help us. Let me think. Boone's Bath and Patio, something like that. That sounds bad. Mr. Sean Pierce, he stepped in to help us this year. He's been a really great dude, and he's actually a competitor. He raced against me. Some. Vortec Pest Control. K Diller Racing. We're teaming up with them this year. I know I'm forgetting some. That sounds really bad.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to remember all of them when you got a lot.
Right. That's Gulf Coast Motorsports Magazine, GSP, Gulf Coast Sandblasting and Painting. They, Mr. Jamie Lusenberg, he helps me out a good bit. I think that's pretty much everybody.
Yep. So, is there any places like what? So, is Chase Holland Racing on Facebook, and what else is it on?
Well, we started out on Facebook and made a few little comedy skits, and then we started vlogging on YouTube. And so we made it to YouTube, and we got a little Instagram page that we're playing with. But yeah, we just tonight hit 5K subscribers on YouTube, which is pretty big for us. We never would have imagined that we get that big. So that's pretty awesome. I got to thank everybody that is watching our videos and subscribing to us.
Yep. So, I don't want to hold you too long, but
No, you're good.
Go check out Chase Holland Racing on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, and that's all we have for this episode. So, Chase, thank you for coming on, and
awesome. Thank you for having me. I missed one of my most important sponsors, Forward Bite. Y'all helped us out a good bit this season too.
Yep. We actually, Ford Bite. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's fine. So, yeah, I think that's it. So, we will see you next week on episode 3, and that's it. See you guys.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, so we just learned a lot from Chase Holland and Chase Holland Racing. He talks a lot about his tracks and how he raced flat cars before, modified. And we will catch you in 2 weeks, and have a good Christmas.
Yep. Merry Christmas, guys.